We are very excited to bring you another volume from the Penn State African Studies Global Virtual Forum. This volume is titled Critical Perspectives on Decoloniality, Southern Epistemologies and Epistemologies of the South. This volume takes a deep dive and critique some of the foundational concepts and approaches to decolonization. The chapters specifically straddle history, theory, and practice, and brings out analysis of social issues, conditions, and activisms, as well as standpoints. While many label decoloniality and decolonization practices as abstract, unrealistic, removed from context, and as hegemonizing in itself, we provide different pathways to engaging in this critical scholarship. The chapters hits on the harmonies and contestations and goes forward to provide certain pathways for thinking and practicing decoloniality. Check out the snapshots of the individual chapters.
Actually argue there's a need for decolonization of normative life because we have accepted a set of norms that are actually more at home, that are more indigenous to a Euro-modern capitalist colonial society.
This is a narrative that is emerging, not from the academy, not just from intellectuals, but in the interface between social struggles and critical social theory. In that space for new conditions for critical social theory, for pensamiento crítico latinoamericano, Latin American critical thought, particularly from feminist, ethnic, and environmental movements.
Because we are wired as human beings to have that self-worth, which apartheid and colonial conquest are taken away by saying we are a people belonging to a dark continent. Whereas the reality is that we are not just the cradle of humanity, we are the cradle of the first human civilization.
In Village Gone Viral, I used the Auramba case to explore the role and politics of models and model making in an increasingly digital and transnational policy world.
The current sociological imagination abounds with many perspectives, like the post-colonial, the decolonial, Eurocentrism, colonial modernity, indigenous theories. And they also have concepts such as captive mind, coloniality, colonial difference, extraversion, and subordinity.
So recent events have compelled many universities and corporations to come back to issues of race and decolonizing and epistemic violence and, and all of that good stuff.
So the disease of egoism is an existential commitment to the colonial world system where we continuously choose sealing ourselves away from sociality and relationality.
Peace is a troubling ideal. We often hear its name spoken as the permanently desirable and universal moral ideal, and it's a pervasive belief today that to be human, civilized, and good is to value peace and to desire peace. After all, the only people who don't love it are inhuman monsters.
Remembering history allows Black people to reaffirm their humanity, even as they address their loss.
So there's been a sort of decolonial, post-colonial turn. I think that some have called that in the field of data studies, of critical data studies, in the last few years.
Advocates of free trade within classical political economy are usually argued to be opposed to colonialism. Adam Smith is the most important case here. On closer examination, what was being advocated was independence for British settler colonies, or their inclusion within the Westminster system of government.
So for me, the millennium marks the beginning, that it inaugurates a crisis of futurity, a crisis of knowledge, agency, morality, among other things.